If you're like most golfers, you've probably been told the same putting advice over and over. Keep your head still, follow through toward your target, and practice those 3-footers until you can make them in your sleep. But what if I told you that some of these golden rules might actually be holding you back? Today, we're going to challenge everything you think you know about putting, and I'll show you why the pros don't always practice what they preach. Tip 1. The head movement myth. Let's start with perhaps the most repeated piece of putting advice. Keep your head still. We've all heard it from our first golf lesson to watching commentary on TV. But here's the thing, when researchers actually studied the best putters in the world using high-speed cameras, they found something surprising. Nearly all of them moved their heads slightly during the stroke, and some of the best putters moved their heads the most. Why? Because natural head movement helps maintain balance and rhythm. When you artificially try to keep your head completely still, you create tension in your neck and shoulders, the exact opposite of what you want in a smooth putting stroke. Instead of focusing on keeping your head still, try this. Let your head naturally follow your stroke, like you're watching a tennis match in slow motion. You'll find your entire motion becomes more fluid and natural. Next up, grip pressure. The conventional wisdom says to grip the putter lightly, using a pressure of about 4 out of 10. But this one-size-fits-all approach ignores a crucial fact about human psychology. We naturally grip tighter under pressure. Fighting this instinct is like trying to slow your heartbeat during a crucial moment. It's not just difficult, it's counterproductive. Instead, I want you to experiment with different grip pressures until you find what I call your pressure-proof grip. This is the grip pressure that feels natural to you when you're nervous. For some golfers, this might be a 7 out of 10, and that's perfectly fine. The key is consistency between practice and play, not achieving some arbitrary standard of lightness. Tip 3. The practice green paradox. Here's a controversial one. Spending hours on the practice green might be hurting your putting. I know this sounds like heresy, but hear me out. The typical practice green is nothing like what you face on the course. It's usually flat, perfectly maintained, and you're hitting the same putt over and over. When was the last time you faced those conditions in a real round? Instead of mindless repetition, try this. Give yourself only one attempt at each putt during practice. Make every practice putt count by changing distance, break, and slope each time. This better simulates real playing conditions and trains your brain to treat each putt as unique, because that's exactly what they are on the course. Tip 4. The alignment revolution. Those alignment lines on your golf ball, they might be doing more harm than good. Research has shown that our brains are naturally better at centering objects than aligning parallel lines. That's why some of the best putters in history, including Jack Nicklaus, preferred a simple dot on their ball rather than lines. Try this instead. Place a single dot on your ball and focus on centering that dot behind your target line. You'll likely find this more natural and surprisingly more accurate than trying to align multiple lines. Your brain is already an expert at centering objects, let it do its job. The key to improving your putting isn't about following conventional wisdom. It's about finding what works for you and challenging assumptions. Remember, movement is natural, pressure isn't always bad, quality practice beats quantity, and sometimes simpler is better. Next time you're on the course, try these unconventional approaches. You might find that breaking the rules is exactly what your putting stroke needed. And remember, the best golfers in the world aren't always the ones who follow the textbook. They're the ones who found their own path to success. Let me know in the comments which of these tips surprised you the most, and don't forget to subscribe for more golf tips that challenge the status quo. Until next time, keep practicing and keep experimenting.